Hey, what's up guys? Doing the 70s horror comics now. Got quite a few of these, so this is going to be a much longer video than the 60s if you've watched that one. Start off with Fear, number 22, also known as Adventure into Fear, with a man called Morbius, the living vampire. If you don't know anything about Morbius, he was a living vampire because at this time the comics code didn't allow undead creatures to be in comics. So to get around that, instead of him being a regular vampire, he was a living vampire. And this is Curse of the Cat Demon, because the only thing scarier than a demon apparently is a demon that's also a cat. Because I know a lot of people are actually afraid of cats. I love cats myself. Okay, Fear number 29, which features Hell Eyes. It's called The Chaos in a World Born of Nightmare. And Fear number 31, it's actually the last issue. They call it End of a Vampire, but since he goes on to be a villain of Spider-Man, I would say that that's not the end of him. Chamber of Chills number 1. Love Chamber of Chills. Great series. Nothing too particularly scary. Like this one has a dragon in it, but you know, it was the 70s. There was only so much they could do. I happen to have 2 issues of that one. One of them is very sun-bleached. I actually got that one from San Diego Comic-Con this year. Well, I didn't go myself, but I had a friend that went, and I gave him some money along with a list of stuff that I wanted, and he picked up Chamber of Chills number 1. I've already got it, but this one's actually more of a reader copy because it's so bleached out. So it worked out really well. Chamber of Chills number 5. The Devil's Dowry. A guy summoning a demon from the fire to kill this scantily clad woman. Chamber of Chills number 8. You know, in the 70s they were finally letting them start to put skeletons on covers again, so a lot of comics started to do that to full effect, and this one is I Wait in the Dungeon. Chamber of Chills number 9. I Was the Man in the Maze. This one's missing a corner, but you know, I read these anyways, so it's fine. Chamber number 12. The Ice Monster Cometh. Chamber of Darkness number 7. Night of the Gargoyle. This gargoyle comes to life, and apparently it's at the 12th stroke of midnight. He starts killing people. Creatures on the Loose number 8. I'm sorry, number 14. Okay, share the terrifying experience of a man who found himself in dead storage, plus more masterpieces of the macabre. Creatures on the Loose, number 31, featuring Man-Wolf. I love this cover. This is one of my favorite comic covers that I have. This is the Beast Within. Got this guy in the back. Turns out he's a werewolf. He's about to eat the shit out of these cops. Dark Shadows number 33. This one actually has Quentin Collins also. If you don't know anything about him, he happens to be a werewolf, so it's not just a vampire, it's also a werewolf. This also was from Comic-Con. Okay, Dead of Night number 1. A haunted house is not a home. The Monster of Frankenstein number 1. Believe it or not, this is the only issue of Monster of Frankenstein I've ever found anywhere. I don't go to a lot of comic shops though, and they typically don't have a lot of back issues, but yeah, I love this one. Got this from Frankenstein's Collectible Show. If you don't know anything about that, then you're really missing out. Frankenstein's is a great show. Visit Ghost Manor number 44. Her Only Escape, The Mirror of Yesterday. It's actually like in really sad shape, but I only paid a couple dollars for it, and like I said, I read them anyway, so it's fine. It's not like I'm trying to make money off of this. Ghostly Tales number 155. The Engagement Party. It's a good cover also. Guy leading his fiance to a bunch of ghosts. Okay, Atlas Comics. The Grim Ghost number 2. The son of Satan fights to save 500 lives in the journey of death. Okay, and continuing on, we have Grimm's Ghost Stories number 2. Okay, Grimm's Ghost Stories number 6. The girl's protector is a dead man's ghost. Because apparently a live man's ghost couldn't protect her. How would you have a live man's ghost? I don't know. I mean, that title doesn't really make a lot of sense. Grimm's Ghost Stories number 20. The guests were supposed to be amused, not terrified. Okay, Grimm's Ghost Stories number 21. A 20th century girl takes sides in a medieval feud. Grimm's Ghost Stories number 47. A young architect's design for the perfect house includes a blueprint for death. Ooh, scary. Okay, The Mini Ghosts of Dr. Graves, number 15. I'm sorry, no, not number 15, number 26. Okay, Marvel Classic Comics, number 1. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's adapted from the classic Robert Louis Stevenson pages, or Robert Louis Stevenson book. It's 52 pages with no ads. I mean, this is really a thick book, and I imagine for 50 cents back in the 70s, it was a great deal. The pride and joy of my entire comic book collection. Marvel Spotlight number 2, Werewolf by Night. This has the origin and first appearance of Werewolf by Night. A character that I don't understand why he hasn't gotten a movie yet, but he has not. I love this book. It's a beautiful copy. In near mint, this book fetches about $3.50 in this condition. About a very fine minus. It goes for like $2.10. Very fine minus. It goes for $1.50, $2.10, something like that. I picked it up for $75 at Comic-Con. Thank you, Chris, for haggling on that. That was awesome. Okay, we got Midnight Tales number 1. And Can You Face the Secrets of Sinister House number 13. Girl has to face these giant rats. I know what you're about to say, you fucking dumbass. Giant-sized Spider-Man number 1 is not a horror comic. No, you're right, technically it's not. However, it does have Dracula in it, which is a segue into Tomb of Dracula number 2. Who Stole My Coffin? This is a beautiful, beautiful copy of this book. I'm not a grading expert, but I think if I sent this into CGC, that it would probably get around an 8 or an 8.5. It's a beautiful, beautiful copy. From Comic-Con, it was like $30, I think. I'm not sure if it was haggled down. Like I said before, I didn't personally go. Okay, Tomb of Dracula, number 22. Gorna, the Lord of the Living Lightning. Tomb of Dracula number 24. It's not in the best shape. I mean, it's got a stamp there on the thing. But this was picked up at Comic-Con, and best of all, managed to get it signed by the writer Marv Wolfman. Oh, that's just glorious. Okay, Tomb of Dracula number 37. The Vampire Walks Among Us. Tomb of Dracula number 51, which features the death of Blade. Can you believe that? They killed off Blade. Then again, it's just like any other comic. They kill him off and he comes back. You know how it goes. Okay, Tomb of Dracula number 69, the next to last issue. This issue is called Cross of Fire, Cross of Fear. Okay, again, my favorite comic book horror character from the 70s, Werewolf by Night, number 1. It's in terrible condition, like it's probably around a 2, but it gave me the opportunity to read it because in good shape, this book goes for about $200, $250, something like that, and I don't have that kind of money. Okay, Werewolf by Night, number 34. House of Evil, House of Death. Got a gargoyle there. And then a skeleton is choking out Werewolf by Night. Great cover. Love these things. Okay, Werewolf by Night, number 35. Death in the House of Hell. Because why would you not die in a house of hell? Okay, Werewolf by Night, number 41. And Death Shall Be the Change. Where Monsters Dwell, number 10. Featuring Gigantus, the demon from the depths. Again, it's a reprint of stuff from the 50s, but it's great. Gotta love it. Where Monsters Dwell, number 24, in terrible, terrible condition. Look at that cover, it's falling off. But I only paid like $1.50 for it, so whatever. I probably got ripped off at that, but I don't care. I was trapped by the things on Easter Island. And it's Midnight, the Witching Hour. Number 43. From DC Comics, Village of Evil. Featuring apparently the devil on the cover. And apparently this terrified the hell out of the ghosts. The guests. And look at me putting shit in here upside down.